Russia-Ukraine War full in-depth. Chapter 1. Origins of conflict 1991 to 2013. To understand this war, we need to start with the fall of the Soviet Union. In 1991, Ukraine declared independence, moving away from Moscow's influence. But Ukraine's strategic position and natural resources made it important to both the West and Russia. During the 1990s and 2000s, Ukraine alternated between pro-Russian and pro-European leadership. The tension kept growing. Ukraine's attempts to join NATO and the European Union deeply alarmed Russia. Russia sees NATO expansion as a direct threat to its national security. And Ukraine's growing closeness with the West became a red flag for Vladimir Putin. Chapter 2. Crimea and Donbas. The conflict begins 2014 to 2021. In 2014, mass protests erupted in Kyiv during what's now known as the Euromaidan Revolution. Ukraine's pro-Russian president, Viktor Yanukovych, was ousted. This was a major turning point. Soon after, Russia annexed Crimea, a move condemned worldwide. Russia also supported separatist groups in eastern Ukraine, particularly in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, collectively known as Donbas. The war in Donbas started in 2014 and lasted for years, killing over 14,000 people. Despite ceasefire agreements like the Minsk Accords, fighting never really stopped. Chapter 3. The full-scale invasion early, mid-2022. By late 2021, Russia began massing troops along Ukraine's borders. On February 24, 2022, the full-scale invasion began. Missiles hit Kyiv, Kharkiv, and other cities. Russian forces invaded from multiple directions. But Ukraine didn't fall. President Zelensky stayed. Civilians and the army resisted fiercely. Russia's plan to take Kyiv failed. Its military faced heavy losses and logistical problems. By mid-2022, Russia pulled back from northern Ukraine and focused on the Donbas. Chapter 4. Southern battles and counterattacks late 2022 to 2023. Russia shifted its focus to southern and eastern Ukraine. Mariupol fell after a brutal siege. Ukraine responded with Western weapons, launching counterattacks. HIMARS systems disrupted Russian supply lines. Ukraine regained parts of Kherson and Kharkiv. But the war turned trench-like, slow, exhausting, and bloody. Both sides suffered heavy losses. Russia relied more on mercenaries and conscripts. Ukraine leaned on Western support. Chapter 5. Global impact. Economy, energy, and food. The war disrupted global trade. Ukraine's grain exports collapsed, worsening hunger in poorer countries. Russia cut gas supplies to Europe, sparking an energy crisis. Oil prices soared. Inflation spread. From food insecurity to high electricity bills, the war's impact was felt worldwide. Chapter 6. Cyber warfare, drones and propaganda. Drones now dominate modern warfare. From surveillance to attacks, they became essential on both sides. Cyber attacks targeted Ukraine's infrastructure and Western allies. Disinformation spread online, making truth harder to find. The digital front was as fierce as the physical one. Chapter 7, 2024 to 2025, Stalemate and Diplomacy. By 2024, the war hit a stalemate. Russia held much of Luhansk and Donetsk. Ukraine dug in around Odessa and the south. Peace talks in Turkey, Belarus, and Saudi Arabia failed. Russia demanded territory. Ukraine refused. The world watched as drones flew, trenches deepened, and hope for resolution faded. Chapter 8. The world reacts. The West armed Ukraine. NATO expanded, with Finland and Sweden joining. Countries like India and China stayed neutral, but global tensions rose. International courts began investigating war crimes. Sanctions on Russia tightened. The geopolitical map shifted. Chapter 9. How might it end? 3 possible futures exist. 1. Total victory, unlikely soon. 2. Negotiated peace challenging. 3. Frozen conflict, the most likely, where the war stops but peace never truly comes. Only time will decide. The Russia-Ukraine war has redrawn borders, cost countless lives, and reshaped the world. As the war continues, so does the hope for peace. Let's keep watching, learning, and striving for a better, more peaceful future.